champions of the past, we have world champions of the present. Marissa Shields in the building. Marissa.
Jake Paul, it's clear to me you are desperate for a reality check. You know what? If I made my money impressing 4-year-olds on YouTube and managed to somehow become a multimillionaire from it, I'd probably live in a dream world too. But let me explain something to you about combat sports. There are a whole bunch of men out here who will never be as famous as you, will never make the money you've made, who would kick the living fuck out of you.
No, he's fighting a 57-year-old champ now. What's
58.
58. Don't want to take a year away from you, Mike.
He's fighting a guy that's almost 60 years old. And you know what I mean? I mean, that says it all. That says it all. There's nothing else that needs to be said. That's his shtick. That's his thing. He fights guys that are old, usually undersized guys, older, undersized guys. But he's fighting Tyson here, and him and Tyson are going to make a shitload of money.
A bunch of money.
Andrew Tate has revealed bizarre fight contract details with YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul. The two have exchanged insults online for months, but no one anticipated it would escalate this seriously. Fans were surprised by the unexpected intensity of their rivalry.
Fucking internet. If you want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living fuck out of a fucking goofy, fucking entitled dickhead like you. You know my name, Andrew Tate.
You might have a fight on your hands.
That would go crazy.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. No, seriously.
I'm about the action. Like I'm less talk now. Like
You just don't see it as a sustainable thing.
He fought Tommy Fury and lost. Where's that rematch?
What makes this fight particularly intriguing is that, unlike typical staged hype events, it carries real tension, significant money at stake, and some shady clauses. These elements leave fans wondering if this showdown is genuine excitement or a disaster waiting to unfold.
All he fights are old guys and whatever, but listen, say what you want, he wins, and he makes money. So he's doing his thing.
Two brothers, one cage. Jake Logan, you Tristan. Who comes out alive?
You know what? I'm trying so hard to not start internet beefs. I'm really trying not to.
You could say Jake and Logan, man.
Bro,
Don't worry about it.
No, I can't lie. Bro, I'm going through life. I'm trying to live peaceful now.
Andrew Tate, the self-proclaimed top G and former kickboxer, has had ongoing beef with Jake Paul for what seems like forever. Jake Paul, determined to prove he's more than just a fighter fueled by money and hype, sees this as the perfect opportunity to showcase his boxing skills. What better way to silence critics than to take on someone like Tate, who never misses a chance to claim he's unbeatable? The fight is set to take place in Romania, but let's be real, it's not about the venue. It's about the fiery tension between these two. Their mutual disdain is palpable, setting the stage for what promises to be an unforgettable showdown.
me versus Andrew Tate.
Wow.
But here we are, so we could talk about that side note announcement. And please go watch the episode.
Hold on a second. What you mean you versus Andrew Tate? Because
No, I'm not saying a fight. I'm saying like our back and forth. He talks shit about me and like says he wants to beat my ass or can beat my ass and all this stuff.
I think there's a better fight to make.
Andrew Tate has made the fight contract the true centerpiece of this event by going all in on transparency and revealing its outrageous details. The terms are nothing short of a wild ride, featuring stakes that are sky high, penalties that are almost laughably over the top in a cringeworthy way, and clauses that feel like a mix of WWE theatrics and Shark Tank style negotiations. This is where things get seriously entertaining. Let's be honest. This fight isn't just about animosity or proving who's better in the ring. It's about money, and lots of it. Both Tate and Jake Paul have turned this into a financial spectacle with contracts so massive they'd make even seasoned negotiators do a double take.
If my brother doesn't fuck you up, I will. And it has to go down. But I don't think he gets in the ring with one of us. I think it's too big of a risk.
The winner of this fight is set to take home a whopping $10 million. Sounds incredible, right? But if you think that's the whole story, think again. The contract has a surprising twist. If the fight goes to the judges' scorecards instead of ending in a knockout, the winner walks away with only half the prize. A measly $5 million. With that kind of stipulation, there's no chance these two will let the fight drag on. Both Tate and Paul will throw everything they've got to secure the full $10 million because, let's face it, $5 million just doesn't have the same ring to it. Don't expect either of them to back down or pull punches with stakes this high. Every jab, uppercut, and feint is going to count, making this one of the most intense bouts you'll ever see. If you're considering placing a bet, know this: both fighters will be battling like their financial futures depend on it, because they do. And then there's the clause that's bound to add a whole new layer of pressure: random drug testing. Both fighters are subject to unannounced, no-notice testing. So if either of them is considering using any shady tactics or substances to gain an edge, they're in for a rude awakening. This isn't just about skill and strategy anymore. It's a test of discipline, integrity, and sheer willpower. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the drama is only just beginning.
Hardest sport in the world, and people dedicate their lives to this, and most of them never get a payday. It never pays off for the majority of fighters, all of which would fuck you up. I'm one of the lucky ones. I made a little bit of money. I don't have 50 million to bet with you, but I do have 3 million to bet with you. So this is your offer. $3 million.
The penalties in this fight are no joke. If either fighter fails a drug test, they won't just lose the match. They'll face a massive financial penalty. For Andrew Tate, who spent years building his image as a top-tier competitor, or Jake Paul, determined to keep his undefeated streak alive, a failed drug test would be a disaster. The fallout could be career-ending, with image damage that might be impossible to recover from. Both fighters know they need to stay clean because the consequences are far worse than just losing the fight. Is it any surprise that Tate included this clause in the contract? He's a strategist at heart, and ensuring there's no room for cheating fits his long-game approach. As for Jake Paul, let's just say he doesn't have the cleanest reputation when it comes to following the rules. This clause raises the stakes for both fighters in a way that's hard to ignore. But there's another twist: no rematch. If Jake Paul knocks out Andrew Tate or Tate secures a submission victory, that's it. The fight is over, no second chances, no see you next year for a rematch. The winner takes all the glory, and the loser is left with nothing but regret. This contract is so packed with drama, penalties, and chaos, it could put even the wildest soap operas to shame. This fight isn't just about skill, it's a high-stakes spectacle.
You are desperate for a reality check. You know what? If I made my money impressing 4-year-olds on YouTube and managed to somehow become a multimillionaire from it, I'd probably live in a dream world too. But let me explain something to you about combat sports. There are a whole bunch of men out here who will never be as famous as you, will never make the money you've made, who would kick the living fuck out of you. This is the hardest sport in the world, and people dedicate their lives to this, and most of them never get a payday. It never pays off for the majority of fighters, all of which would fuck you up.
The no rematch clause adds a whole new level of pressure to this fight. The loser has no fallback, no chance to claim they were off their game or unlucky, and no opportunity for redemption. Imagine being Jake Paul, constantly battling the just a YouTuber label, knowing that a loss would shatter his undefeated record, with no second chance to prove himself. On the flip side, picture Andrew Tate, the self-proclaimed top G, facing the humiliation of being knocked out by a YouTuber turned boxer. The internet would go wild. This fight isn't just about winning, it's about preserving reputations and legacies, making every second in the ring a high-stakes battle for pride and respect.
I think you're focused on boxing boxers, people that are in the space that you reside.
Jake, I know he's been talking shit about you, bro.
Yeah.
But with your blessing, can I beat the shit out of Andrew fucking Tate?
100%.
One of the juiciest parts of the contract is the weight clause. Both fighters are required to make weight for the fight, and if either fails, they lose 30% of their paycheck. This isn't the typical way in drama you see before most boxing events. This is serious. With that much money at stake, failing to make weight is a massive financial blow, not to mention a public embarrassment. For fighters like Andrew Tate and Jake Paul, whose brands thrive on discipline and credibility, showing up unprepared would be devastating. In boxing, missing weight doesn't just mean a lighter wallet, it signals that you aren't ready to step into the ring and win. For Tate, who prides himself on his discipline, and Jake, who's worked hard to prove he's more than just a YouTuber, missing weight would deal a major blow to their reputations. The stakes are already high, and this clause just piles on even more pressure. And then there's the pay-per-view (PPV) clause, which takes the drama to another level. Both fighters are set to receive 50% of the PPV sales. That's right, every dollar fans spend to watch this fight will go directly into their pockets. With massive followings on social media, Tate and Paul are positioned to rake in staggering amounts of money. This fight could very well break PPV records, fueled by the intense drama and sky-high stakes. The marketing around this fight will be just as fierce as the battle in the ring. Expect both fighters to go all out on their platforms, hyping the event and ensuring every fan knows just how monumental this showdown is. The clash of egos, the personal rivalries, and the money on the line will keep tensions boiling, driving PPV sales to unprecedented levels. If you're betting on anything, it might be the sheer amount of cash this fight will generate. Fans will be clamoring to see these two go at it, drawn by the promise of chaos, drama, and the ultimate battle of egos. With so much on the line, both in the ring and outside of it, this fight is shaping up to be unforgettable.